In those people who say the name of Amida and truly attain serene faith, the joyful and implicit entrusting of oneself to the vow, constant mindfulness of Amida is acquired, and true appreciation of his benevolence is evoked. When sentient beings of this evil world, defiled with the 5 kinds of impurity, utterly entrust themselves to the compassion through which the vow of Nembutsu was selected, these practicers of Nembutsu are filled with Amida's virtue, which is beyond measurement, explication, and conception. In the Shurangama Sutra, it is stated that for the salvation of all sentient beings in the future, the Buddha of unimpeded light, Amida, has granted to Mahasama Prapta Bodhisattva the Nembutsu, which originates in Amida's pure wisdom. Because of his concern for the salvation of sentient beings in the defiled world, Mahasama Prapta Bodhisattva stresses the need for the Nembutsu. Those who totally entrust themselves to it are embraced and enabled to enter the Pure Land. It is only through the absolute compassion of Sakyamuni and Amida that we can be awakened to the sincere desire to attain Buddhahood. Out of the mind of faith, which is the working of Amida's transcendent wisdom, a true appreciation of the Buddha's benevolence comes forth. Receiving the Nembutsu, which arises from transcendent wisdom, is the virtue of Dharmakara's vow, working to save us. If we are not endowed with this transcendent wisdom, that is, with the heart of faith, how is it possible to realize nirvana? Since the primal vow is the torch and the light through the long night of ignorance, do not grieve over the blindness of the eye to wisdom. Since the vow is the ship and the raft over the vast sea of samsara, do not grieve over the gravity of wrongdoings. Because the power of Amida's vow is inexhaustible, our evil, however grave it may be, does not hinder it. Because the Buddha's wisdom is boundless, however confused and dissolute we may be, we are never forsaken. When we consider the intention behind Amida's establishment of the vow, we find that it rose from his mind of great compassion, not forsaking suffering and afflicted beings, but solely for the sake of saving them by giving all of the virtues he gained. His great compassionate mind was perfected. The utterance of the name, the heart of complete entrusting to Amida, is the virtue transferred to us through his working. This is called no transferring, because it is not an act of self-transferred good. For this reason, desire to accumulate merits by the articulation of the name is unacceptable. As various rivers flow into the ocean to become one with it, the minds of common beings, whether good or evil, are taken in by Amida's ocean-like wisdom vow and immediately turned into great compassion, which is the essence of the vow. Again, as rivers flow into the ocean to become one with it, the minds of common beings, whether good or evil, are taken in by Amida's ocean-like wisdom vow and immediately turned into great compassion, which is the essence of the vow.